Hello everyone, it's Judy. Welcome back to Rose Lane. Well, I am very excited and I hope I can do this without crying because I'm already starting. Anyway, I printed this little sign today because I wanted to thank you, all of you, for getting me this far. My channel isn't even 2 years old yet. That won't happen until May. And I have already, I'm over 3,000 subbies at this point. I don't know, 3,100 something. On my way to 3,200 as of today, which is, what is today? I don't know. Today is the 12th. But this is not going to air until the 16th, I think it is, which is Wednesday next. But as of today, March 12th, which is Saturday, I have about 3,150 something, I think, or 60 something. I don't know because I just put a video up, so, so that number keeps changing. Anyway, I did want to say thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart to all of you. I'm sorry. It's just amazing to me how well received my work is by all of you and how much you tell me that you are inspired and that you're eager to do some of the things that you've seen me do and put them in your journals as well. And I am just so honored. So anyway, I'm going to stop there so I can stop crying. What I wanted to do was go over the requirements for this giveaway. I have them written here in all these nice, bright, happy colors. So the first thing that you would need to do is, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, to subscribe to my channel. Next thing is to leave a comment in this video for this piece that we're doing here today. Leave a comment and tell me which one of the projects that I've done so far, for at least whatever videos that you've watched, has been your favorite so far. So leave a comment in this video telling me which of my projects has been your favorite so far. And then also leaving in the comments a share. So share my channel link with someone else and name them in your comment, if you would do that as well. So subscribe to my channel, leave a comment in this video telling me which of my projects has been your favorite so far, and then share my channel link with someone else and name them in your comment. Those are the rules. So we're gonna leave those comments in this video, and this will air on, I think I just said the 16th. The drawing will be on the 20th, which the 20th of March, which is a Sunday. However, it is the first day of spring. Yay! So I am so excited about that. So in celebrating the first day of spring, we are going to do our giveaway. So that's it for that. I'm just going to move this paper over to the side, and actually I don't want to put it there because there's something else I want to share with you. And if you'll give me 1 second, I'm getting a tissue to wipe my nose and my eyes. Thank you so much, guys. Really, truly, thank you so much. Okay. In one of my last videos, somebody asked me about this dry waxed paper. Not sure where I used it. I think I used it in things. I don't know how well you can see this, a little dusty. Okay. Yeah, actually, it's deli paper, and it comes like this, okay? And I know that's kind of, you know, a big thing in this little screen. But it comes like this, and they use it to wrap sandwiches and stuff like that. And it's thin, as you can tell, and you can kind of see through it. It's a little slightly waxed, which is why I think they call it dry waxed paper. But you can get it, if you have access, you can get it in like restaurant supply stores, which is where I got this. It's, oh gosh, I don't know. It says that each sheet is 15 by 10 3/4. It says jumbo size. It does not tell me, at least I don't see it, how many sheets are in there? 500 sheets are in here. I don't know what it cost me, but I'm sure it wasn't that expensive. I suppose if anybody, I'm never going to use 500 sheets, so I suppose if anybody is interested, I could probably put some packs of that into my Etsy shop, and I can sell you some of them that way. I got a hair on my, Lord knows I don't need to lose any more of my hair. I can sell them to you in, like, you know, maybe packs of 10 or something through my Etsy shop. So if anybody's interested that I would do that, I will gladly go ahead and try to put some of this into my shop if you think you would want it, because you might have problems finding it. You never can tell, though. So anyway, you made me cry, guys. You made me cry. All right, we're going to get on with this project. Okay. I wasn't thinking that this was going to have any hidden places, but of course, you know, I had to think of something. So I think this is, well, no, there's one more. I was going to say, I think this is the last time I'm going to have any hidden journaling spots, but there actually is one more little project. It's a little thing that I'm probably going to do that will have hidden pockets in it. Or hidden places, I should say. Well, hidden pockets for just some small journaling spaces. So anyway, I dyed this ribbon a long time ago, and it was kind of a candy pink, and I didn't know if I would want to use it, but I was looking at like the colors in these roses, and I'm thinking, you know what, why not? So I think we're going to be using this ribbon. I'm going to put that off to the side. We're going to be using this lace. I have a couple of tabs over here. I've already put my holes, if you can see that. I put my holes in my tags already to put the ribbon on, though I haven't done it. I probably should have, because I'm not good at tying bows, particularly on camera. So this is what we're going to do. Excuse me. I have all the pieces already ready for this, and I'm going to show you how this goes together. This is real easy, real easy. It's not as difficult as it looks. And here's the base page, and I already have it. It's not really tea dyed. It's actually ink. I put brushed corduroy, a little bit, and a couple of droppers full of Victorian velvet in some water. And the colors that I've been getting have been magnificent because they're separating, oddly enough. And the brushed corduroy is giving me this sort of pale, buttery, golden yellow color. And then the pale pinks for the Victorian velvet. It kind of just, I have some paper over here that I actually did. I don't know if you're going to be able to really see the color. Let me get one that looks particularly vibrant. I don't know if you can see the color changes in that. I can, but it's really, it's quite lovely. Just one of those things, and turned out really nicely. So anyway, that's what's on the back of this. It'll stay plain, more than likely, for journaling. So let me show you how we make this piece. I'm just going to put this off to the side. I'm going to get a couple pieces of tea stain paper from up here on my shelf. And this is all you have to do. I'm going to keep this here mostly for measuring this. You're going to take one piece of paper, tea stain paper, and fold it in half. And I'm better doing it this way because at that distance I can't see what I'm doing well enough. So if I turn it towards me, I can line up the edges of the paper a little bit better. So my apologies for that. Never was very good at it to begin with. So we fold a piece of paper in half. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take this lip and we're going to fold it down to wherever we think we want it. I'm going to try to do it the same, or about at least the same height as this one. That's piece number one. We're going to take another one, again, fold it in half. Let me turn this towards me. The trick to this isn't so much in the folding as it is in where you glue, and I will get to that in a second. It's not difficult. Now this one I made just a little bit narrower, so just, I don't know why, just because, because I did. So it's about there. give or take. All right, so we have that. Now what you're going to do to place them together, and let me really move these things out of the way, is you're going to take this one, you're going to put one behind the other one, okay? Yeah, that wasn't it. I did this, no, I didn't do it wrong. Yes, I did do it wrong. Hang on one second. We have one. Let me get my template. I do have a template. Somebody asked me about my templates too, and I wouldn't mind doing that. Oops, I dropped my paper clip. I have all these paper clips on here. Okay, so here is this one. Okay, so that was my mistake. I apologize. The second one should not have been folded the same way. So let me get another piece. The second one, instead of folding it on its own, I can move my templates out of the way now. Let me put them up here. Instead of folding it on its own, you're going to take the two top ends, okay, two top ends. You're going to line them up together. Now what I did for me was I just went ahead and glued it. And I used the tea stain paper. You don't have to. You could use single-sided with tea stain on one side and a pattern on the other, or double-sided paper as well. You could use scrapbook paper if you have it in the 8.5 by 11 size, or you can always cut it down from a 12 by 12 sheet, or 2 sheets actually in this case. So I lined up these two ends like that, and then I brought the bottom of the unfolded sheet. Okay, here's the one that you folded, here's the flat one. You're going to line them up here, if I can do that. There we go, I hope. Okay, line them up here. Then you're going to bring that bottom one up to meet this pocket here, or the edge of this flap, okay? You're going to bring that up, line that up there, and I'm going to try to get it straight. Hopefully I've got it straight. Okay. And then you're going to take the flap on the bottom one and fold it down to wherever it is you think you would desire it. You can have it really narrow, you can have it very deep, however you really want to do it. So I'm just kind of doing it like so. So that is what you end up with, okay, which essentially is this, okay? You ink around the edges or not if you don't want to. You don't really have to. But let me show you how you glue this, okay, or how I glued it. So actually let me take the other glue here. So I'm going to glue these the top two edges together first, so that lines everything up nicely. Okay, again, let me turn it towards me so I can see a little bit better where I'm putting it. And this can be sewn. I did not sew it, but you can sew it as well, though you would want to do some of the sewing, think about it. Like I said, I have no instruction for that, but I know by the way it's glued that you would have to do some of the sewing before you would put the piece together. Okay. So that's that. Now the next thing I'm going to do is as carefully as I can, and I think I scored this one. So let me make a mark, because I'm better at that. I'm trying to dig out a pencil here, because I just put some papers over the top of this. Remember, if your paper is tea or coffee dyed or any kind, if you've wetted it all, it's going to shrink. Okay, even if you just wet white paper just to make it crinkly, it's going to shrink. So you want to make sure you get this in the middle, and see, this shrunk by just a 1/16 of an inch. So all I do is I just wiggle it. I wiggle the ruler until it looks like I've got equal distance on both sides. So that's 8.5, it's 4 1/4. Okay, I'm going to take my scoreboard out here. If I can get it out. Disturbing all my other stuff. I'm not going to open the board all the way because I don't have a lot of room with all the stuff on my desk. So I'm just going to score it, and it doesn't really matter, you know, because it's not, I've already measured the distance. All I need is a groove to put this in, and I'm just going to go ahead and score that. So I just want to go over this double part. Ooh, that's right. It looks like I scored it in another place before, but that's right. Looks like I went off, scored in a different place, but that's okay. All right, let me put this away. Let me hang this back up here. Okay, I've got this little rack where I stand them up in. Okay, and then I'm just going to go ahead and fold this over. I'm not too concerned, just a little bit. Why is because I wanted a place to put my glue here, okay? That's why I did that. So this is going to go, and I'm not taking the time to ink this. This is just, I'll probably just leave this as a prototype. So I can see more where I glued it than anything. So you're going to glue this flap down, okay? Right there. And then you're going to do, I hope you can see, I'm doing it right on the score line because it isn't inked, so it might be a little bit harder to see. And then right on the edges over here. And you're going to glue that down. This is obviously meant to go, you can either, I'm doing it as a center spread, but you can also do it where it's in, you know, a signature and, you know, somewhere in your signature, and then somewhere you'll have this on the right, left side and this on the right side. So, okay, so we have that. Now, this is what you're left with on the side, okay? So you want this to be a pocket right here. So where you glue, you don't want to glue that down, okay? You don't want to glue this shut. So what you want to do is just come up here, and your own, I mean, you can glue this all the way down if you wanted to. And you know what, that's probably easier. I didn't, but you can. I'll probably go back and do that because I think it probably makes better for the pocket. So glue all the way down. This flap is what I did there. Actually, I think I need a little bit more up here. Okay, so you're going to glue there. All right, and then you're only going to glue this little flap part. You're only going to glue that over here, if that makes sense. Okay, so however big that little flap is, that's all you're going to do, and you're going to bring that up. Actually, let me make sure. I want to go just a little bit higher than that because it doesn't quite overlap the bottom. Well, it does overlap the bottom. And you're going to just go ahead and do that. Okay? Now you're going to go to the other side and do the same thing. And I know it might be a little hard to see. Maybe if I do it this way. No. The key is, I could have done it on the flap, but you really can't see that. So all I'm doing is trying to line up the top of the flap with where I'm putting the glue. And you put that all the way down to the fold and glue that down. And then the same thing here. You're just going to glue no further down than the bottom of that flap. Okay, just enough to hold it in place. So we're going to go to the other side. And you can see now that you have this pocket, okay? And then this side, you have that pocket. So it's just making sure that you don't glue like, you know, too far down or something, or you don't glue in here. That's all it is. It's really not hard. So that's how that pocket goes, and this is what you get when you've got it inked. Now, I know because I was playing with the oxide ink and I had it on my fingers. Of course I did. And touch things, and yeah. So anyway, so that's it. That is how it goes together. So just those two pieces. You fold the first one in half and then fold the flap down, and then you take the second one, put it underneath. You fold the bottom up to meet here, the bottom of the original flap, and then you fold that piece down, and then it makes, let me get some cards here. It makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and since I'm going to glue it down on the page this way, it's 7 and 8, and we're not done. It also makes 9, 10, 11, 12, and we still have spots for our secret journaling, which we will get to near the end. So let's go to this. Let me put that up there. Let me put this up there. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue it right down to my page. Okay, I'm not doing, oops, let's get it the right way. Okay, that would help. This has got a slight pattern on it. I'm not sure where I got this from, guys. I'd have to, I'm working on it. I really am. I'm working on going through my piles and piles and piles of papers that I print and don't mark. I'm trying to match them in my computer, with my computer files, and trying to get names on them, and it is a chore. So it's coming. If I tell you that I'm going to get back to you, I will. I promise. I'm keeping track of who I owe it to. It's just a matter of when I run across it that I'll know what the name is, and then I'll put it down. So that's my plan. I'm hoping. So let me make sure that I am, now see, I'm a little too high here. Okay, hopefully I wasn't too high when I was doing all the other stuff. I'm going to move that over a little bit because I think we can. And I'm going to go ahead and flip this over. I have a line here, and I just want to double check again. Where are the cards that go into there? Good question. Here they are. Because I changed my background paper, which had been smaller. This one's a little bit bigger. So I'm thinking that I put a line where I wanted to glue it. But I'm thinking I may be able to get away with having it a little higher. So, yes. So what I'm doing now, because I've already got the holes in for the ribbon, so I'm going to do bows on all of these. So the bow will sit on this one. It'll sit just at the top of the pocket, you know, just above it, which I think is nice. But what I need to do now is hold my card, flip it over, and you can see my line is going to be much higher. So I'm going to go just a smidge below this, and what I'm going to do is pull this down just a bit. And I'm going to draw my line here, okay? And then I'm just going to go ahead and draw that straight across so I know where I want to glue. I'm going to line up that line and then continue, okay? And that's where I'm going to put my glue. It's going to be just, I'm going to glue just a little lower than where I want the card to come out, because, you know, the glue line is often a pain. Still want to do it with this. Feel much more safe with this. I'm going to glue below the line that I did. I'm going to glue below it. Now, I just didn't happen to have tags that went all the way down to the bottom, and I didn't want to have to make some new tags. So I decided I would just go ahead and, you know, use the tags that the kit had. So I'm going to put this down here. Try to make sure that I am centered on the page here, more or less. Okay. Just trying to eyeball it. Hopefully it's straight. Okay. Now I've got that. Now all I'm going to do here, since I already put it down, it's somewhere in here. I'm not sure where the line is, but I'm pressing at the bottom, and then I'm just going to go ahead with my art glitter glue around the edges, right underneath the end of the flap. I don't have to worry in my case, because the oh, well, that doesn't help me. You see my depth perception here. You know what, let me just kind of, I'll flip it over and do it this way. I think I'm safer. I thought I was underneath, but I obviously wasn't. But it really doesn't matter if the glue was right exactly at the edge, because I'm not making the tags as wide. So now this could have been done prior, which I didn't think about. I just flipped it over and put it down, and I should have done it before. Come from the other end. Okay, and then on this side, and I can actually go ahead and press these down, and then I'll get this on this one. I'll leave it down. So hopefully I don't come out the end or come out of the edge. So I don't know, guys, if I'll ever really truly learn to fully adapt to not seeing the same anymore. But I'm trying. So we'll see. All right, so there we have our pockets. I know I was off screen there a little bit. Okay, I want to press them here because I don't want to go up the folds, if you know what I mean, up the flaps. Okay, so we've got now the pocket here for this, and that's perfect. And the pocket here for this one, which is also pretty perfect, I think. Push it down just a wee bit. Okay. Pull off any glue I might have hit there. Okay. So we have that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a little bit of decoration. It's not going to take too much, because we're coming to the end with this. This piece goes here. Okay, that's a little bit wider than the one that I got, because I did that one narrower on the bottom, and that piece is going to go down here. Okay, but you guessed it, that's where our secret stuff is going. So we are going to make sure I'm on the top. Yep. Okay, we are going to go ahead. I'm going to try to be very careful putting this down because it does have to be exact. And this is that pink paper, by the way, that you can maybe see the colors in it. I don't think the camera's going to pick it up very well. I wish it did, but it really probably doesn't, because it's very subtle. But in real life, it is just so pretty. All right, I'm going to try to go ahead and get this down where I want it. And I'm going to try something new. Okay, there we go. Whoops. Don't want you sliding up. Do want you sliding over a little bit. There we go. All right. All right. It's being a little forgiving, which is nice. Okay. So this is, I'm going to turn this over. This is where we have our secret pockets, right in here, okay? And I'm going to show you in a minute how we're going to go ahead and make the paper fit, which is something that I've been doing sort of all along. Okay, that one there. I'm going to go ahead and do that here. Now, because again, the glue lines are not perfect, Lord knows they're not perfect for how I'm gluing, and then when you smush them down, the glue kind of goes where it wants to go, depending on how thick or thin that particular spot may be. Every piece of paper that you insert in these little secret places are probably going to be different, so you're going to have to measure, I would think, for each pocket. Okay, you'll have to do each one individually. That is what I'm thinking, unless somebody has a better way of doing it, which I'm sure somebody out there does. We can, that, you know, where they would, each one would definitely be even. Kind of be hard to do. Okay. All right. So these are going to go in these side pockets here. Okay. Now, I also have, excuse me, I have these little tabs that I want to put on. They're tiny little whale tail tabs. And actually, I got this as a die cut, and I got it through AliExpress. And it has 3 sizes of whale tail tabs. It has a big size, which I think is the actual size of the whale tab, the whale tail original punch. There's a medium size, and then there's this small size. So today I'm going to use this small size. I want to put these just either side of center because I don't want them both in the same place. I'm going to put this one down here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the glue on here. Get this glued down. And I'm thinking about it, if I can make up my mind, I may put some charms, since they're going to kind of be hanging off, but I'm not sure, or some dangle or something. I may do like a little bead dangle or something. Not sure just yet. Okay, so what I want to do here is I'm going to go ahead, I'm putting this card upside down. Whoops, this one's a little crooked. Let me see if I can straighten it out. Not really. That's what happens when I glue it down really good. Anyway, this is the bottom of this card, okay? But I want it on this side so that it comes out the other way, if you know what I mean, so that the tab is going to be here. But I'm going to try to place it in the same place. So this tab's a little crooked. My apologies. Try not to get the other one crooked. Okay, so we're going to put this one back in this pocket. And like I said, these had to be glued down. These go a little further in until you sew it in. Okay, when you sew it in, if I put my finger there, you can see it won't go any further. But the reason why you had to make this pocket, well, you didn't have to do it this way, was so you can make this pocket. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and find my marks and glue this one down, hopefully a little straighter than the other one. Handmade, always my excuse when I get something crooked. It's handmade, right? And go ahead and put that right about there. I'm trying to get it a little straighter than the last one, I'm hoping, while my glue is still forgiving somewhat. All right, and then this one's going to go in this pocket here, like so. Okay, these guys are going to go into these pockets. There are, because I made these pockets different sizes, I have 2 size cards. Now that may not be your case. You may make them even. I just happen to do it that way. So I have 2 slightly larger and then 2 slightly smaller, if you can see that. Okay. Oh, another one I didn't ink. There's always one. In this case, there was 2. I saw one earlier that I didn't ink. When I was putting the holes in the other cards, I saw one that I didn't ink. So I did that one. Now I see I didn't ink this one. Let's just, for the sake of it. Oh, yay. Got that one all right. All right, I'll leave this over here. So yeah, so I have slightly different sizes because these pockets were deeper, these were not. So these are going to go in these pockets like so. Okay, in the deeper pocket right about to the end here. All right, and then this one goes in here. I don't know why I'm having a difficulty with it, but that one goes in there, so it pretty much meets the top of that pocket. And then these go in down here. Oh no, you know what? It's the other way around. I'm sorry. This is the deeper one. So that one goes here, and this one goes up here. Now it can go a little further up I was kind of just, you know, placing it down a little bit. I'm trying to just kind of line them up as best as possible. So in my case, the bigger ones are here on the bottom. So we'll get those in here. This is why I didn't do, upside down. This is why I didn't do a pattern paper, because I knew I wanted to sort of use the tags to make the pattern. So it sort of, you know, covers the whole thing. These are then going to go back here, and then these are going to go in here, like so. The smaller ones here, and the larger ones here. But what I need to do first is put the ribbon on. So I don't know if you really want to sit here and watch me do ribbon and struggle. Let's see my time. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's hope. Let's hope. Okay, so we have how many? We have 2, 4, 6. That should be all I have to struggle through, is just 6. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And we're going to use this ribbon. We'll see how I like it. I might change it. You never know with me. All right, we'll kind of start at the top. And I use the small holes on these, on the crocodile, as opposed to the larger holes. I knew I wasn't, because of how the ribbon was going through, I wasn't going to be, let me try to make sure I'm on camera for you, because I'm holding it close to me. I wasn't going to be, you know, you really couldn't see that there would be no eyelets. Okay, so let's see if I've got this one right. Look at that, it worked! Pretty much. We'll put that one in here, like so. Let's cut another piece, which I should have probably measured that. So I'm gonna guess that they're about that size. So let's go ahead. Hopefully I've got them. I'd rather them be too long than too short. So I need 5 more. I don't need to hold all of these. Alrighty. Where's my end? There it is. Okay. 3. 4. And 5 in a second. All right, let's put this to the side here. Well, that didn't work. Okay. All right, let's try to get this other one in. Put this over here. What did I do? I don't know what I did with the, oh, there's the template. Okay, there we go. Didn't know where I put the other template. Okay. If you're hearing all the grinding and thumping, that's my dog upstairs, taking his blanket and mushing it up and walking around on it until he decides he's ready to plop. So that is what he's doing. All right, pull that one through. I hope I made these long enough, truly. Pull that one through. Try to make them even. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure what color ink I used on this one. I think it might have been sugar, sponge sugar, I think, maybe. And I'm not sure. I'm kind of guessing that it was white, or maybe like a light cream. Yeah, Hug Snug, the seam binding. Like I said, that's getting harder and harder. I'm not going to worry about making these perfect right now. I just want to kind of give you the plan here, so to speak, for what I'm trying to achieve. So yeah, I think that's what it was. I know the Hug Snug is the original one, keep holding this close to me, I'm sorry. The original Hug Snug is hard to find now, especially in the neutral colors. I have, I think this was an original. Nope, this is the rayon. It's not the polyester. I know I do. Yeah, this is the original one. Now, this says it's rayon as well, but this is the better one. It's softer. This one's not as nice, but this seems to be what they're replacing it with now, and I'm not as happy with that as I was with the other original one. So again, I'm not going to pull these too tight. I'm just going to kind of put them in here because I do want to get to this and show you what we're going to do there. Actually, you know what? I'll do these. Let me do the bows, but I'm going to leave them to the side. And leave the cards to the side. These up here don't matter, but I need to get into these things. I need to do the lace that's going to kind of cover the edge. And I probably should have done these bows before. I apologize, guys. Trying to get it through, and it's hard. Where's my little tweezers? We'll try to pull it through with the tweezers. Come on. There we go. Okay. Try to do some more here. You know, I remember when it was so easy to tie a bow. But I've gotten a little chubby over the years. And it kind of makes it hard to grab things in small spaces like this. Ah! Okay, come on now. That's why I have to make my loops really big so that I have a place to go around them. Because my finger takes up so much room. My thumb takes up so much room. There we go. I think I've got it. All right, let's pull that back and pull this one back. Go ahead and try to pull that a little tighter. Okay, last two, I swear. And then we're going to do the lace edging, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to fill these pockets. I think I'm going to throw a little glue in there just as, you know, well, even though I know that's going to get sewn down, it may not exactly hit right on those pockets where I might like. So we will try to get a little glue in there. Okay, that's this one. I think it's all in. Yep. Okay. So we had snow last night. I think a lot of the country had snow last night. Not a lot of fun, unless, like I said, you are a winter person, which I am not. So I just love the newness and freshness and cleanness of spring. And especially for those of you who may not have ever lived up in the north like we do, or places where you get snow. You know, they have to plow and push the snow aside, and cars drive on it, and we have salt or sand or whatever it is that they put down to keep the roads from being slippery, which makes the nice, pretty, pristine white snow not so pristine. And it doesn't look very nice. And it kind of stays that way. And then once the snow begins to melt, you're left with these, like, collections of... this one might have been a little shorter. You're left with these collections of residue. This sand or, you know, salt or whatever it is kind of all over the sides of the road and all over in the parking lots where, I'll get this, I swear. It's the last one. That's why it's giving me all this trouble. You know, where the snow melts and leaves all the dirt behind. And then you need the spring rains, you know, to kind of clear that all away and wash it all away. So it's nice. I like seeing things get clean And see, ta-da, I did it. So yeah, I just love how it looks like some little child, some happy little child, took a box full of crayons and just colored everything. You know, there's greens, there's pinks, there's purples, there's yellows, there's blues, there's, you know, even trees are different colors. They, you know, have flowers on them in all different shades, and it's just gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. Okay, so we are going to put lace in here, okay? And I'm going to just trim this down to give myself a nice unicky edge. I'm going to clean out my tip of my glue because I did not. And I'm just going to go ahead and glue along here. Now I'm going to glue, put the lace facing up over the edge of the pocket. And that's what I'm going to do all the way down. And there's a reason why I want to do that. I looked at both ways, though I liked both ways, whether I do it this way or this way, like such. And that's the way I'm going to do it. I kind of like it like this, but there's a reason why I want to do it the other way. And I just knocked my glue over. Sorry about that. I should actually be turning this around, but I'm going to try to see about getting that even. And what I'm doing here to try to get it even is I'm looking through the weave, and I'm trying to get the edge of the paper along the bottom of the scallops, because I can see where the page ends through these little holes. So if I can see the tag, then I'm too high up. Okay? So I'm just trying to do that, trying to make it as even as possible. I don't want to get it like all weird because of how I'm pulling it down. And then I'll go ahead and just snip right there. And then that's that one. Now before we go ahead and put the lace on these other pockets here, I'm going to put it here and here. One, it's going to reinforce the edge, but the other thing that it's going to do, and let me get, you know what, let me get the one that I screwed up, because that'll work. What I want to do now is I want to cut, oh, before I do that, let me do this. I want to cut some strips of paper, and how I measure, and I'm not too worried about getting this all the way down or really like tight. I just want something that'll help give me the proper measurement for the width of the paper, so I don't, you know, cross over the fold. I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to cut, and I think this was, let me see the size of these cards. I'm going to make it a little smaller. These cards are about 3 7/8, so I think I'm going to go down to 3 1/4. I think that's what I'm going to do. So let me get my little, just put it right on here, my little cutter here. You may hear my dryer in the background. Just going to put that under here, and we're going to go to 3 1/4. Okay, I think I'm pretty straight here. 3 1/4. All right, I'm not going to need all of this because I don't want to make the pockets too bulky. Okay, or what's in the pockets. I don't want to make it, you know, I don't want this to be real puffy. So I'm just going to go ahead, and I need to glue that down again. I'm just going to go ahead and slide, come on, the paper in. And this is generally how I measure for these kinds of things, because like I said, nothing is going to be exact. Since I got glue on that one, let me come over to this one. I'm going to slide the paper in, okay, and then I'm going to fold it back. But here's what I want to do. I'm going to fold it just slightly higher, just slightly higher than the pocket, and I'm going to tell you why. And then I'm going to fold it back on itself this way, but in a little bit. Can you see what I'm doing there? Just in a little bit. It's probably, I don't know, maybe 1/4 of an inch hanging over. Okay, something like that. I'll try to get that straight. I don't always cut straight. And then we're going to fold it back again. Okay. And then where I'm going to cut it off, where is my, and I'll do this probably with my knife. I'm going to cut it off here. Okay. And then this is the first time I'm doing this, so I'm hoping this is going to work. It works in my head, but then a lot of things work in my head that don't work in reality. They work in my reality, I guess, but not always in the real world. Okay, so I'm just going to cut that down. So then you've got a piece of paper that's folded like this, okay, like a bat, okay, and it's just a little longer here, okay, and there's a reason why I want to do that, and the reason is this. That's not going to write. I want to try to just sort of round this a little bit. I probably should not do this by sight. I'm going to get my handy dandy, how do I measure these things, out. Okay. Try this. Can I do it with this? Probably not. I'm going to do this by eye then. My ribbon wants to fall out. And all I'm really going to do is I'm going to try my best to just sort of round it up a little bit. That's my dryer. And round these corners. I think I might be at the edge of the paper there. So let me be a little more careful. I'm just trying to, I might be off the camera, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get the bottom one in. And once I get one done, I'll use it to kind of go along. I'm trying not to get any lower than this, but I want to make a little bit more of a curve. And I can't quite grab it. All right, so a little bit like that. And this is just the top of the paper. Hopefully I have not cut the rest of the paper. Got a little notch there, but it's not too bad. And this is the reason why I wanted to put it in the pocket so that it rose out just ever so slightly above. Now I want that shorter. And I'm going to go ahead, because sometimes I'm going to take about half of that off, or maybe not quite half. I'm just going to shave that off. I'm just trying to get rid of the corners so it doesn't look so obvious. Because when I put the lace over it, and I'm only going to do one of these to give you the idea. The lace should cover at the edge of the pocket, it should cover it, but it gives you enough to reach in above the lace and pull out, if that makes sense. Okay, so let me go ahead and do this. This still might need to be trimmed down a little bit. I'm going to ink it just so that I can see it better. Just real quick. And this is surprisingly a bigger piece of paper than I thought it would be. I just wanted to cut those corners off a little bit so that it just wasn't, it was a little softer and it wasn't so obvious, if that makes sense. Okay, we'll get the other side. The reason why I think it has to be folded the way we folded it was so that the two ends were at the top, okay? And it made it a little bit easier to pull it out without having the extra bulk of the other two folded up in there. I'm not sure if I'm making sense to you, but that's what I was trying to do. It may not really matter. So it's now folded like that, if you can see it. Okay, and this is a little bit thinner than having the rest of it. We're going to put that right in there. And the reason why I want to put it in is because I want to mark the lace where it's going to need to go to cover this. And if I think this has to be made a little shorter, then I will make it a little shorter. So we're going to go ahead and put this 3-in-1 all the way across. And we're going to put the lace down where it needs to be. And we could go up a little higher. Okay. Let me turn it this way so I can see if I'm straighter, because I got to turn things all kinds of weird, funky ways now. Okay, I think that looks all right. I think, I hope. Go ahead and trim this here. Okay, and I'm not going to do it with the other pockets right now. I'm not going to put the paper in, but you get the idea. Put a little piece of glue or something in there. And we're going to go ahead, and like I said, you'll have to do this for each pocket individually. You can't, I don't think, unless like you're really super perfect at everything, which I'm sure there's many out there who are. I am not one of them. To, you know, make sure that each little hidden piece of paper will fit appropriately and properly into the pocket. So we want to get this higher because we know we're going to need a little bit more space to cover the edge. Up you go. Come on. I just kind of push it with my thumb, and then I sort of pull at it and try to make it a little straighter. And I just keep playing and playing. But this is why I wanted the lace to come over the edge of the pocket. Okay, so this is what we have thus far. I need a little more glue on the end here. And wipe it off the tag below. All right, so let me put all this stuff out of the way here. And we're going to go ahead and get our tags back in. Again, I'm not too worried about this coming over because it's going to get sewn in. I'll pull this out a little bit. Pull this one out a little bit. And my other tags. And this is our finished piece. Try to line this up a little bit. And then a small one down here. Okay. The other large one here. Okay. Try to get that centered. And then the small one here. And that, my friends, is the finished piece. Okay, so that's what we have. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 tags on this page, and then 4 little secret journaling spots with these papers like so. So that's what we have. That is it. We are done with this one for today. I seem to be getting right around this hour thing lately. But anyway, that's it for this one. I think this is my last center spread that I needed. So anything after this is just going to be sort of regular pockets and things like that. So you'll be seeing some of that. Mostly I'm probably going to be trying to videotape some other things, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what we can get going. But in the meantime, that's it for today, guys. I just want you to stay safe, be happy, be blessed. Thank you again for this wonderful milestone. I couldn't have done it without you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now, guys.